I lie in bed, listening to the voices downstairs. Mom and Dad are arguing again. Their voices are not loud, but I can still hear them through the walls. My stomach feels tight, and my heart beats fast. I pull the blanket over my head, hoping it will all go away. I don't know why they fight so much lately, but I know it makes me feel scared and alone. The next morning, I walk into the kitchen. Mom and Dad are sitting at the table. They both look tired, and I feel my stomach tighten again. Something is wrong. Mom looks at me with soft eyes and says, "Mia, we need to talk." Dad looks down at the table, not at me. I sit down slowly, my hands shaking a little. I don't want to hear what they have to say, but I know I have to listen. Mom takes a deep breath and says, "Dad is moving out. He and we need some time apart." Her words hit me like a wave, cold and strong. I feel like I can't breathe. I look at Dad, but he still doesn't look at me. My eyes fill with tears, but I don't want to cry. I feel too confused, too shocked. "Why?" I ask, my voice small. Mom says, "Sometimes grown-ups, they just need space. It's not your fault, Mia. We both love you very much." But I don't believe her. How can it not be my fault? Maybe I didn't clean my room enough. Maybe I didn't do my homework well. Maybe if I had been better, this wouldn't happen. I get up from the table and run to my room. I close the door and sit on my bed, hugging my pillow. Tears run down my cheeks. Everything feels wrong, and I don't know how to fix it. The next day at school, I feel like I'm in a fog. I can't focus on my math problems, and the words on the page look blurry. My teacher, Miss Patel, notices and calls me over after class. "Is everything okay, Mia?" she asks, her voice kind. I nod, even though I know it's not true. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want anyone to know what's happening at home. Miss Patel gives me a gentle smile. "If you ever need to talk, I'm here," she says. I nod again and quickly leave the classroom, my heart pounding. I walk down the empty hallways, feeling lost. My parents' divorce feels like a heavy weight on my shoulders. I don't want to go home, but I have nowhere else to go. Then, as I turn a corner, I see a door I've never noticed before. It's old, with a faded sign that says Room 5. Curious, I open the door. Inside, I see a small room with a few chairs and some old books. The room feels quiet and safe, like a secret hiding place. I take a step inside, and that's when I notice a girl with curly hair sitting in a chair. She's drawing in a notebook and looks up when I enter. "Hi," she says, smiling. "Are you new here?" I shake my head. "No, I was just walking around." The girl's smile grows. "Well, welcome to Room 5. I'm Lily." I introduce myself, feeling a little shy. Lily doesn't seem to mind. She gestures to the empty chairs around us. "This is our club. We call it the Secret Hearts." "Secret Hearts," I repeat, confused. "Yes," Lily says, her eyes bright. "It's a club for kids who have things on their minds. Things they don't want to tell just anyone." I feel a spark of interest. "Why?" Lily shrugs. "Because sometimes it's hard to talk to adults. But talking to friends, it can help." I look around the room. It's small but cozy, with posters on the walls and a few books scattered around. It feels safe here, like a place where I can be myself. Just then, two other kids walk into the room. One is a quiet boy with glasses, and the other is a tall girl with a kind face. Lily introduces them. "This is Ben," she says, pointing to the boy. "And this is Sarah." They both wave, and I feel my face relax a little. Maybe, just maybe, I can tell them about my parents. Maybe they will understand. We sit together, and Lily asks, "Do you want to share something, Mia?" I look down at my hands, feeling nervous. But something about this place, about these kids, makes me feel safe. So I take a deep breath and say, "My parents, they're getting a divorce." For a moment, the room is silent. Then, Lily nods and says, "I'm sorry, Mia. That must feel really hard." Ben looks at me with soft eyes. "My parents don't live together either," he says. "It was hard at first, but it got a little easier." Hearing their words makes me feel less alone. I look around at these kids, these secret hearts, and feel like maybe I found a place where I belong. The next few days feel strange. Every time I think of home, I feel sad and heavy. My parents' voices still echo in my mind, and the words, "Dad is moving out," keep coming back to me. I don't know how to make the feelings go away. The school, everything feels hard. I try to do my homework, but I can't focus. The math problems don't make sense. Even reading feels hard. And I love reading. I feel like I'm moving in slow motion, like I'm in a fog. During lunch, I sit alone. My best friend, Emma, waves at me, but I don't wave back. I don't want to talk to anyone. I want to hide away, to disappear. I don't think anyone would understand. I don't think they could really help. When school ends, I don't want to go home. I remember the door to room 5, that small, cozy room where the secret hearts meet. So I walk down the empty hallways, back to that room. I push open the door, and there they are, Lily, Ben, and Sarah. They all look up when I enter. Lily smiles. "Hey Mia, welcome back." I sit down quietly, and they don't ask questions. It's nice, this feeling of being accepted. We all sit in silence for a while, and then Lily looks at me. "Do you want to talk?" she asks softly. I think for a moment. I want to talk, but I also don't want to cry. Finally, I take a deep breath and say, "My mom and dad, they don't love each other anymore. They're breaking up." Ben nods. "I remember when my parents told me the same thing," he says. "I thought maybe it was my fault. I thought I did something wrong." I look at him surprised. Me too. I feel like maybe I should have been better. Maybe I should have tried harder. Lily shakes her head. "It's not your fault, Mia. Grown-ups have their own problems. We can't control what they do." I want to believe her, but it's hard. I feel so small, like I'm just a tiny part of a big, messy world. But here, in room 5, I feel a little stronger. Then Sarah speaks up. "We have a special diary," she says, her voice low, like she's telling a secret. "It's for writing down our feelings." "A diary?" I ask, curious. Lily nods. "Yes, but this diary, it's a bit magical." I laugh a little. "Magical?" Lily's eyes light up. "Yes, if you write in it, your feelings feel better for the day. It's like a little bit of magic that helps with the pain." Ben reaches into his bag and pulls out a small, old notebook. It's worn, with a blue cover and pages that look like they've been turned many times. "We all write in it sometimes," he says, handing it to me. I hold the diary in my hands, feeling its weight. Feels warm, like it's full of secrets. I open to a blank page, and for a moment, I don't know what to write. Then I pick up a pen and write, "I wish Mom and Dad could be happy again." When I finish, I close the diary and hand it back to Ben. I don't feel much different right away, but I feel a little lighter, like some of the sadness has faded just a bit. The next day, I wake up feeling okay. The sadness isn't gone, but it doesn't feel as heavy. I go to school and try a little harder in class. I even wave at Emma during lunch, and she smiles back, looking happy to see me. I wonder if the diary really is magic. After school, I go back to room 5. Lily, Ben, and Sarah are already there. We talk a little, and I tell them that I felt better today. They smile, and I can see that they're happy for me. I feel like I'm part of something special, a small group that understands me. But then, a few days later, the sadness returns. I wake up feeling heavy again, and the same pain fills my heart. I realize that the diary's magic only lasts for a short time. Can't make the feelings go away forever. One day after school, I find my dad waiting outside. He looks tired, like he hasn't slept well. He smiles at me and says, "Hey Mia, do you want to go get ice cream?" I feel a small hope in my chest. Maybe things can be okay. Maybe Dad and I can still have special times together. So I say, "Yes, please." And we walk to the ice cream shop. As we sit together with our ice cream cones, I feel happy, like everything might be all right. But then Dad looks at his phone and sighs. "I have to go soon, Mia. I'm busy with work," he says. My heart sinks. I thought this would be our time, just the two of us. I feel the sadness growing again, like a dark cloud. I finish my ice cream quietly, not saying much. When Dad drops me off at home, I watch him drive away, feeling empty. That night, I go back to room 5. I feel like crying, but I don't want to. I sit down and my friends look at me with kind eyes. Did the diary help today? Lily asks. I shake my head. The diary, it doesn't work forever. My dad came to see me, but he had to leave early. I feel like I don't matter. Ben puts a hand on my shoulder. You do matter, Mia. Sometimes, parents don't always know how to show it. But you're important. Lily looks at me, her eyes serious. Maybe the diary isn't the answer, Mia. Maybe it's just a way to help us for a short time. But we still have to face the feelings ourselves. I think about her words. Maybe she's right. Maybe I have to find a way to be okay. Even if my family is different now. It's a hard thought, and I don't know if I'm ready. But I feel stronger with my friends beside me, and I know they understand. As I leave room 5 that day, I know there is still a long way to go. But I'm not alone. I have my friends, and maybe, just maybe, I'll find a way to feel okay again. The next day, I walk to school feeling a little better. I remember what Lily said, that the diary isn't a real solution, just a small help. But even with the sadness still there, I feel a little braver. I know I'm not alone, and that makes everything a bit easier. In class, I try to focus, but my mind keeps drifting. I think about my mom and dad, wondering if they're feeling as sad as I am. I wish I could talk to them and ask them why all of this happened. But every time I think about asking, my throat gets tight, and I feel scared. What if they get mad? Or what if I don't like their answer? At lunch, I sit with Emma again. She asks if I'm okay, and I give her a small smile. I'm okay, I say, even though I know it's not completely true. But talking to her feels nice, like I'm starting to feel normal again. I tell myself that maybe one day, things will feel normal all the time. After school, I go back to room 5. Lily, Ben, and Sarah are already there, sitting and talking quietly. They look up when I enter, and Lily smiles. Hi, Mia. How was today? She asks. I sit down and shrug. It was okay. I still feel sad sometimes, but maybe not as much. Ben nods. It's like that. Some days are better. Some days are worse. But we're here. I smile at him, feeling warm inside. It's nice to know they care. Then Lily says, Do you want to write in the diary again? I think about it. The diary helped me feel lighter before, but it was only for a short time. I don't want to rely on it forever. I want to try to handle my feelings on my own. Maybe later, I say. I think I just want to talk today. Lily nods, understanding. Of course. We sit together, and the room feels quiet and peaceful. I feel safe here, like I can say anything and they will listen. So I decide to tell them about my dad and the ice cream. Yesterday, my dad took me for ice cream. I begin. I felt really happy, but then he had to leave early, and I felt like I wasn't important. Then nods. I know that feeling. Sometimes I want to spend time with my mom, but she's busy with my little brother. It makes me feel invisible. Invisible. That's the word. I feel invisible too, like my parents don't see how much I need them. But it's nice to know that Ben feels the same way. It makes me feel less alone. Lily leans forward, her eyes serious. Mia, you are important. Even if they don't show it all the time, your parents love you. Sometimes, grown-ups don't know how to show love. I think about her words. Maybe my parents don't know how to show love in the way I need. Maybe they're hurting too. It's a strange thought, thinking that maybe my parents are sad like I am. We sit quietly for a while just thinking. Then, Lily brings out a box from under one of the chairs. She opens it, and inside are little pieces of paper with drawings and words on them. What's that? Ask. These are our wishes, Lily says with a smile. We each wrote a wish on a piece of paper. It's like a promise to ourselves, a reminder that things can get better. She hands me a blank piece of paper and a crayon. Would you like to make a wish, Mia? I hold the paper in my hand, thinking. I close my eyes and take a deep breath. Then I write, I wish I can feel happy again. When I'm done, I fold the paper and put it in the box with the others. Feels nice, like I'm sharing my hope with my friends. We all have our wishes, and it feels like a promise that one day, things might be better. After a while, we leave room 5. As I walk home, I think about my wish. I don't know if it will come true, but I hope it does. I hope I can find happiness again, even if my family isn't together. That evening, my mom is cooking dinner when I get home. She looks at me and smiles. "How was school, Mia?" I feel a lump in my throat. I want to tell her everything, to ask her why things changed, but the words feel too big. Instead, I just say, "It was okay." She nods, and I can see she's tired too. We sit at the table eating quietly. I wonder if she misses Dad too. I wonder if she's as sad as I am. But I don't ask. I don't know if I'm ready for the answer. After dinner, I go to my room and sit on my bed, thinking about room 5 and my friends. I think about my wish and the promise it holds. I know there's still a long way to go, but I feel stronger. I have friends who understand, and I have hope, even if it's small. As I lie down to sleep, I feel a little lighter. The sadness is still there, but it doesn't feel as heavy. I close my eyes, holding on to the hope that maybe, one day, things will feel okay again. The next morning, I wake up with a heavy feeling in my chest. I think of my wish from yesterday, and I wonder if it will come true. I want to feel happy again. I want to feel normal. But every time I think of my parents, the sadness comes back, strong and sharp. At school, I try to focus, but my mind keeps drifting. I feel like everyone else is moving on with their lives, and I'm just stuck with these feelings I don't know how to handle. I see Emma laughing with some friends, and for a moment I feel jealous. I miss laughing like that. I miss feeling light and free. When lunch comes, I feel alone. Even though I'm sitting with my friends, it feels like there's a wall between us. They talk about funny things they watched on TV, but I can't join in. My mind is somewhere else. I want to tell them about my parents, but I don't think they would understand. They all have happy families, families that aren't broken. After school, I head straight to room 5. It feels like the only place where I can truly be myself. When I open the door, I see Lily, Ben, and Sarah waiting for me. They smile when I walk in, and I feel a little better just being around them. Lily asks, "How are you feeling, Mia?" I sit down and shrug. "I don't know. I feel sad. But I don't want to feel sad anymore." Ben nods, looking serious. "It's okay to feel sad. It doesn't mean you're weak. It just means you're human." His words make me think. Maybe it's okay to feel sad. Maybe I don't have to hide it all the time. But at the same time, I want to move past the sadness. I want to be happy again. Then, Lily pulls out the magic diary and hands it to me. "Do you want to write in it again?" I look at the diary, feeling its weight in my hands. The last time I wrote in it, I felt better, but only for a little while. This time, I don't know if it will help, but I want to try. I open to a blank page and think for a moment. Then I write, "I wish I could feel strong enough to face my feelings." I close the diary and hand it back to Lily. The room feels quiet, and I take a deep breath, hoping the diary will help. The next day, I wake up feeling a little lighter. It's like the sadness is still there, but it's not as strong. I go to school, and even though the pain is still with me, I manage to smile a bit. I talk with Emma during lunch, and we laugh about something silly. Feels nice to laugh again. After school, I head back to room 5. My friends are already there, waiting for me. I tell them about my day, about the little bit of happiness I felt, and they all smile. I feel like I'm making progress, like maybe things will get better. But as the days go on, I realize that the diary's magic doesn't last forever. The sadness always comes back, sometimes even stronger than before. It feels like I'm on a roller coaster, going up and down, never really knowing when I'll feel happy or sad. One day, my dad comes to pick me up from school. I'm surprised, but also happy to see him. We drive to a park and sit on a bench watching the ducks in the pond. For a while, we just sit in silence and it feels peaceful. Then Dad looks at me and says, "How are you doing, Mia? Are you okay?" I want to tell him everything. I want to tell him how sad and scared I feel, but the words get stuck in my throat. I nod and say, "I'm fine," even though I know it's not true. Dad sighs and looks away, and I wonder if he feels sad too. I wonder if he misses being with us, with Mom and me. But I don't ask him. I don't know if I'm ready to hear his answer. After a while, Dad says he has to go. I feel a little disappointed. But I understand. This is how it is now. I watch him walk away, feeling the sadness return, stronger than before. That evening, I go back to room 5. I feel so heavy, like a weight is pressing down on me. Lily, Ben, and Sarah notice and they ask me what's wrong. My dad came to see me, I say quietly. But he had to leave again. It feels like I don't matter to him. Lily puts her hand on my shoulder. You do matter, Mia. Your dad loves you. Sometimes, adults just don't know how to show it. Her words help a little, but the sadness is still there. I wonder if I'll ever feel normal again, if I'll ever feel like I belong somewhere. Then Sarah says, maybe the diary isn't the answer, Mia. Maybe it's just a way to hide from the real feelings. Maybe we need to face them. I think about her words. Maybe she's right. The diary helped for a little while, but it never made the feelings go away. Maybe it's time to try a different way, to face the sadness head on. I feel a little scared, but I know I can do it. I have my friends and I know they understand. They won't let me face this alone. As I sit in room 5, surrounded by my friends, I feel a bit stronger. I know the sadness will still be there, but maybe, just maybe, I can learn to live with it. When I leave room 5 that day, I feel a small spark of hope. I don't know what will happen next, but I know I'm not alone. I have my friends and that makes all the difference. The next morning I wake up feeling different. There's still a sadness inside me, but it's mixed with something else. Maybe it's courage, or maybe it's just the feeling that I'm ready to try something new. I don't want to keep running from my feelings. I want to understand them, to face them, even if it's hard. When I go to school, I feel a little stronger. During lunch, I tell Emma a bit about what's been going on. I don't give her all the details, but I tell her, my parents are getting a divorce, and it's been hard. She listens quietly, her eyes kind. I'm sorry, Mia, she says softly. If you ever need to talk, I'm here. Her words mean a lot to me. Feels good to have a friend who knows, even if she can't understand everything. Just knowing she cares makes me feel a little less alone. After school, I head to room 5. Today, I don't feel the need for the diary or for magic. I just want to be with my friends, to talk, to share. When I walk in, Lily, Ben, and Sarah are already there, and they smile when they see me. Lily looks at me with a soft smile. How are you feeling today? I think about her question. I feel a lot of things. Sad, scared, but also a bit stronger. I feel like I want to face my feelings, I say. I don't want to hide anymore. Ben nods, his face serious. That's a good choice, Mia. Sometimes, hiding just makes things worse. But facing them, it helps. We sit together and I start talking. I tell them about my dad, about how I felt when he left. I tell them about my mom, how I see the sadness in her eyes. Even though she tries to hide it, they listen to every word, and I feel safe, like I can say anything. Then Lily asks, have you told your parents how you feel? Her question surprises me. I haven't told them, not really. I've been scared. Scared they wouldn't listen, scared they wouldn't care. But now, with my friends beside me, I feel like maybe I could try. I don't know how to tell them, I say honestly. I'm afraid they won't understand. Sarah reaches over and takes my hand. You can do it, Mia. You have a voice and it matters. They need to know how you feel. Her words give me courage. I start to think that maybe it's time to have that talk with my parents, to let them know how much their divorce has hurt me. I don't know if it will change anything, but at least they will know. And maybe, just maybe, it will help us all understand each other better. That night, I wait until dinner is over. Mom is washing the dishes, and I feel my heart beating fast. I take a deep breath and say, Mom, can we talk? She turns around, looking a little surprised. Of course, Mia. What's on your mind? I sit down at the table, my hands shaking a little. I don't know where to start, but I know I have to try. I feel really sad about the divorce. I say, my voice small. I feel like maybe it's my fault. Mom's face softens. and she comes over to sit beside me. "Oh, Mia, it's not your fault. This is something between your dad and me. We both love you very much." Her words make me feel a little better, but there's still so much inside me. I feel like I have to choose between you and Dad, like I have to take sides. Mom's eyes fill with tears, and she takes my hand. "You don't have to choose, Mia. We're both still here for you. We both want you to be happy." Talking to her feels good, like a weight is being lifted off my shoulders. I realize that maybe she's been hurting too, just like I have. We sit together, and for the first time in a while I feel close to her. A few days later, my dad comes over to pick me up. He's taking me to the park, and I decide that maybe it's time to talk to him, too. As we walk, I take a deep breath and say, "Dad, can I tell you something?" He looks at me surprised. "Of course, Mia. What's on your mind?" I look down at the ground, feeling nervous, but I remember my friend's words, and I know I have to be brave. "I feel really sad about you and Mom. I feel like I don't matter to you sometimes." Dad stops walking and turns to me, his eyes serious. "Mia, I'm so sorry you feel that way. You matter to me more than anything. I know I haven't been here as much, and I'm sorry. This has been hard for me too." His words make me feel better, like a small light inside me is growing. I realize that maybe my parents are going through their own sadness, their own pain. We walk together, and I feel closer to him than I have in a long time. Later that day, I go to room 5. My friends are waiting, and I tell them about my talks with Mom and Dad. They smile, proud of me, and I feel proud of myself too. It was hard, but I did it. I told them how I felt, and it feels like a big step forward. As I sit with my friends, I realize that the sadness is still there, but it's smaller now. I know I'll have good days and bad days, but I also know that I'm not alone. I have my friends, I have my family, and I have myself. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough. The next morning, I wake up feeling calm. The sadness isn't gone, but it feels smaller, quieter. I think back to my talks with Mom and Dad, and I feel a little proud. It was hard, but I did it. I told them how I felt, and they listened. I don't feel as heavy as before. The school, everything feels a little brighter. I sit with Emma at lunch, and for the first time in a long time, I really feel like talking. We laugh about silly things, and I don't feel the wall between us anymore. Feels good, like a part of me is coming back to life. After school, I go to room 5. Lily, Ben, and Sarah are there waiting for me. They smile when I walk in, and I feel warmth fill my chest. I sit down and we all talk about our day. I tell them about my talks with my parents, and they nod, their eyes full of understanding. Lily says, "You've come a long way, Mia. I'm proud of you." Her words make me feel happy and strong. I think about how I felt the first time I walked into this room, how scared and alone I felt. Now I feel different. I feel like I have friends who really understand me, who have been there for me through everything. Then Ben reaches into his bag and pulls out the magic diary. He holds it in his hands, looking thoughtful. "You know, maybe we don't need this anymore," he says quietly. I look at the diary, remembering all the wishes I wrote inside it. It helped me when I felt lost, but now I feel like maybe I don't need it. I feel ready to face my feelings on my own. Sarah nods. "The diary helped us for a while, but we don't need magic to be strong. We have each other." We all agree. We don't need the diary anymore. It was part of our journey, but now we're ready to move forward without it. Ben places the diary in the center of the table, and we all look at it for a moment, remembering all the feelings we shared here. Lily suggests, "How about we make a promise? A promise to always be here for each other, no matter what." I smile and nod. "Yes, a promise." We each place our hands on top of the diary, like we're sealing our promise. Feels special, like a secret bond between us. I know that even if things change, we will always have this promise, this friendship. After a while, we leave room 5 together, laughing and talking. The sky is bright, and I feel a lightness in my heart. I know that I'll still have hard days, days when I feel sad or lost, but I also know that I'm not alone. I have friends, I have family, and I have myself, and that's enough. As I walk home, I feel a sense of peace. I know my family is different now, but that doesn't mean I can't be happy. I think about my wish to feel happy again, and I realize that maybe it's already coming true. When I get home, Mom is waiting for me with a smile. We sit together talking about my day, and it feels good, like everything is going to be okay. I don't need everything to be perfect. I just need to keep moving forward one step at a time. For the first time in a long time, I feel ready for whatever comes next. I know I have the strength inside me to face anything, and that makes me feel powerful and free. My story isn't over, it's just beginning, and I'm ready.